Chaplains of Idaho Community Chaplains are dispatched by members of law enforcement and fire to scenes that involve members of the community. They may be involved in a tragic incident, have family members that are stricken with grief, or maybe a structure fire has occurred. The chaplains on scene are there to provide practical assistance, grief resources, and trauma aid for all those involved.
About 3 years ago, I spoke with our PIO, Carrie Hammond, about the chaplain services. Up to that point, we had never utilized them in the past. It just so happened that we had a pretty significant structure fire that night. On the night of this particular fire 3 years ago, the chaplains came out and they were absolutely astonishing to me how they took over the family that was displaced, reassured them that everything was going to be okay, that they had these resources that were going to help this family recover, stuff that is outside of our realm as a fire department. The chaplains really took a very stressful component for us at the fire department and completely simplified it for us. And now we're at the point we've utilized them enough. We've got a good enough relationship there. We just have our emergency communications center, our dispatch center, call them, and a couple of them typically come right out. Like I say, they're absolutely amazing at taking care of that post-fire stuff, taking care of the family during the event.
Fire chaplains and law enforcement chaplains arrive on scene to provide critical incident support to the first responders on the scene. In the days that follow, if the first responders are still struggling, we'll walk alongside them and give them the resources they need to move past the trauma.
I often tell our new recruits coming in, this is a mentally challenging job. You get to see a lot of things that I believe the human mind wasn't prepared to see and have to deal with. These guys have background and training that helps them deal with us in those situations, I guess. We've not had that in the past. We've had what we call critical incident stress debriefing teams or groups that have come in and we do a debriefing of a difficult call. But nobody in those groups are typically trained to say what to do after if you are having challenges, and the chaplains are. So they've got, again, great resources and great background and training to allow them to deal with that. So it's graduated to not having really any knowledge about them or utilizing them at all. But 3 years later, everybody's comfortable with them being around. There's a working relationship there. That's a big deal for us. I'm one of those people that was in the position to have to deal with those post-incident stresses, and I just can't tell them enough how much I appreciate them taking that over and the fantastic job they do.
I know my chaplain has my back.
My chaplains have my back.
I know my chaplains have my back.
The Chaplains of Idaho have my back.
My chaplain has my back.
I have your back.
I have your back.